I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
So there's Obols here. So right now I'm searching for aspects and money and materials. So I'm down here in World Tier 1 collecting all of the good stuff quickly so that I spend less time, right? Because like it takes me a month of Sundays to work through the content because I'm on hardcore and I'm doing this solo and I don't want to rush anything. But by coming down to World Tier 1, I get drops like this, which either give me money or materials.
I'm not ready yet.
And then we can do our upgrades. There's a whispering chest down here too. It usually shows up right here. But I don't do whispering chests either. They're kind of fucking garbage, just like whispers. I'll be opportunistic about the whispers though. So if I'm doing a dungeon and it happens to have a side quest in it, all the better. So don't be so antsy about doing your side quests. Maybe collect a few and see where they lead, and don't rush your dungeons because you might get, you know, in some situations you might get a side quest, a dungeon, and a whisper at the same time. So it's like, okay, well, I'll go do that one because obvious reasons. And then coming down here, we have a cellar. Now, keep in mind, especially in hardcore, these cellars can, well, particular cellars, I'm not sure exactly which ones, but some particular cellars can yield the butcher, so you need to be careful of that. You can do this at level 1, and I encourage you to do it because you're going to get the chests, you're going to get the obols, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, and then when you come to the cellars, you also have the chance of getting obols, right? We go in there, we either get obols, a regular cellar, the butcher, or 3 treasure goblins. So keep that in mind. That's why we're hitting this up. So we're trying to compound the obols that we're getting with all of the sellers that we're encountering on our little run here. So again, keep in mind that I have sacred weapons.
I need time to prepare.
And I did the same thing that I did, but I did it without a sacred. So I have an extra, I think at least one, maybe two for this particular skill, and I can replace it when I find a sacred. And I'm pretty sure they're ancestral, not ascended. But I call them ascended in Facebook. But whatever, you'll get the idea. Um, the stuff that we don't need will decomp. Again, I find it particularly hard to get things together in hardcore while I'm leveling, so I may come back to a lower level to grind out things. And you can do that in Eternal as well. I do that for the regionals. So when we come into here and it talks about doing these things, we're then going to come back into World Tier 1, and it's going to say, okay, let's do this dungeon, whatever the case may be. And you're going to walk through and it's going to say, okay, slay 4 people, or destroy 2 towers, or whatever. And you're not going to collect any of the XP from the NPCs. You're going to go and do those glyphs. We haven't gotten to the point where we're doing glyphs yet, but again, and this is also a fresh character. This is a fresh hardcore character. I didn't log into. I only have a level 25 eternal regular hardcore character, but I didn't log into that and collect any of the benefits. So what you're seeing here is the progression of a fresh new character that needs to do everything prior to maybe gaining some of the seasonal content, right? Whereas in my Eternal character, I logged on, got most of. I found I had to revisit some of my Lilith towers because for some reason they were missing. I don't know. But we all know this game is bugged as fucked. So I didn't do that with this character. So that's what you're seeing here. You're gonna hear the butcher too, right? Fresh meat, chains dangling, and all this other shit. I don't usually walk out. I usually leave. There's flowers and shit along the way. Keep an eye out for those. We've got one here.
You there! Please help! You are far too trusting.
Also keep in mind that this build is not meta. It's from my noodle. you know, I either go this way or I go this way. I like to go this way. The horse is still bugged as fuck, so I'll just walk. I'll walk and we'll collect XP as we go. I find that this one is usually here. And it's pretty easy to complete, all things considered. So in this case, I like to conglom all of these little guys around the big guy, and then their bombs. So if we come into abilities, and we have a look here, every time I do direct damage, we're doing fire damage over seconds, which helps us heal. And then every time I kill something, it becomes a bomb for 50% of fireball. And then if I get the pair of pants, then we're doing really good. But I don't have the pair of pants yet, so keep in mind this build right now is duct tape in a dream. So
Don't just stand there. Help me.
the nice thing about the shamans is that they bring the little fucking squirts back to life, and then you get to use them as bombs again. So do what you will with that.
Will you help me, stranger? Without you. You're a saint.
So we're really only here for Obols. What you could do is, if you're in World Tier 4, you come back here. I think you have to be level 73. And then you can collect... Yo, fix your game, bro?
Will you help me?
I can't. There's a container in the way. This fucking game.
You're a saint.
I saw it.
Don't just stand there. Help me.
You're fucked, bud. Oh my god. So sloppy code.
Stand there. Help me. You're a saint. Will you help me, stranger?
have a look if you need anything. I'm still kind of stingy, so I'll pick those up. From here, we want to go up here. So again, you get the chance for obols. That's really what we're after. More gambling. More fuel for the addiction. Again, use all of these little guys as bombs. In this case, I won't leave. I'll go back to Cova Shed. I'm not walking. And we can take the same path out, but up. And check on everything that we just did. And we can also hit up that cellar on the way up. You also get the chance to have a... what are they called? A black heart. I don't know what they're called on this run. This year. The black ones. So on this run you get a chance for the black hearts. And again, because I don't want any of this, I'm just after materials because I need to upgrade some stuff. And I'm material poor, so we're gonna come in here.
I need time to...
This is my setup so far. Now, remember, I'm bouncing back and forth. I'm not bouncing back and forth, I'm bouncing up from weapon to weapon. So that's why this one doesn't have an aspect on it, because right now I'm poor and I don't have a replacement for it, but this happens to be stronger than anything that I have, so make do with the puzzle that you get. And sometimes you're gonna know, sometimes you're gonna have to switch stuff around. Like I had a build where it wasn't imprinted, but it was on a weapon. And I had an extra skill that I could use as a placeholder, so I put it on the gloves, and then I took the focus that was before this one and decomped it and put it on the gloves. And now I've replaced it, and so now I can go another, right, we can go another 4 levels without finding a pair of fucking gloves, and then when we finally find a pair of decent gloves, I'll have the aspect to put onto that, and this will go into the bank because it's hardcore, right? Just in case I die, I then have all of that juicy stuff from the beginning that all I need to do is throw on and repeat the process if I end up dying. Now, hopefully not, but so this is what we have. All of the stuff that's been upgraded is the stuff that I've used. I may have used 1 or 2 pieces that aren't upgraded, but for the majority of the part, we have upgraded it to the point where we're not using rare materials. Because you should be able to do this. And that'll help you move through your mobs faster. And we do the same thing here too, right? You'll see I haven't upgraded it all of the way, and in some cases, in this case, I'm too poor to upgrade this, and that's why we're here. We're here to actually upgrade the new weapon that we found. and then we can go back up, start the process over again. It just depends on how comfortable I am with how much damage I'm doing and how fast I'm moving through these mobs.
That's good salvage. Unexpected.
Right? And we get fat bonuses depending on what you're running when you level those things all the way. Now, keep in mind, a lot of this is just a placeholder for now. It's trash that gets me extra damage. Like, I don't care for overpower. I don't use frozen. I don't use chill. I do use distance, but everything else can just go blow hot air. So, again, I might want to stick around and get some more materials for an upgrade on my chest. We're starting to do a few more side quests when we go back to our regional content, because what I did was the first 3, and then I moved on to the next one, did the first 3. Next one, see, we're working on Hawazar right now, right? And then we'll go back, because Obols aren't worth anything to me. Max Obols aren't. I'll go back to the city. Who gives a shit? Teleports are free now. That's no skin off my nose. Go play Diablo 2 or PoE and then tell me how you feel about all of this shit. It's pretty easy. What we're going to be after is the Paragon points. And now that we're level 50 and we're slightly comparable in capable. Smoke another. We want those Paragon points because we're now reaching into those boards. Now, I have followed the eternal path that I used. And then we're going to come up here. Because I haven't seen too much damage. But when given the opportunity, I will play into resiliency, which is me taking damage. How well can I take that damage, whether it be physical or elemental? And then we go into the character, and you can see 14, we'll get that up to 20, but then we'll have a 20% suppression, which is basically like sitting underneath my blizzard, which I don't have, but I could, because I went full fire rather than split it up between, because you can turn burning on and off with your with my ADHD build, we'll call it. But elements that, and these are just soft ones, right? They could be upgraded, but we haven't found a nice ring to replace this ring to replace the hard, so we're slumming it. We're slumming it all around. I don't like this skill. I don't like this imprint. I don't like this imprint. I like this heart, because I can do Arc Lash, and Arc Lash does burning, or we have the Hydras out, which are already burning anyways. And then we've got an extra 23% extra damage just for swinging Arc Lash around. And there's a couple other things that work into the synergy of this build too. I don't like how that's on there, but we're going to deal with that. So far, this has been the basics, though. And we could get stuff like this way up. We just haven't had any decent drops up until this point. So from here, we got all our shit sold. We can then go back through this process, but we'll go. Now, I did shoot the shit for like 2 minutes there, 3 minutes there, whatever. But if you're in a hurry, shit's not gonna respawn. So when you come back out the door, you're gonna head north.
I cannot do that here.
Now we'll come down here and we'll check on this just to make sure, because sometimes that little orange circle is not here, but the quest is. So maybe just check on it. Not here, that's fine. We'll see if we can utilize this again, and if we can, great, because we get a chest, and again, maybe Obols, maybe 3 treasure goblins, maybe even the butcher. Oh, look at this. Tell me we got Obols.
My friends were cut down. I won't last on my own.
I really don't care how these turn out. If there's 3 guys in here, the majority of the time, the game is going to be an utter dickhead and drop you some guy that's got this big old fucking log and he hits it on the ground and then basically covers the whole fucking screen with poison and everybody's dead. So don't worry about the 3 people surviving or the 1 person or whatever the kid. Just survive yourself. Don't worry about it. They're pretty fucking shit. You'll get like 3/4 of the way through, and then all of a sudden, bah, everybody's dead. And it's like, you know what, go fuck yourself. He's such a kick in the dick. And you'll notice how I use my hydras in certain directions.
Thank you, Wanderer.
I don't let them sit in one place for too long because I'm actually using them as directional damage. I want you to attack this person or this. So you'll see me dump them over here and something will be here. So for example, say this chest is the thing I want to attack. I'll dump them here, and then I'll let all of the NPCs chase me into this corner while my hydras are working on the thing that actually needs to be destroyed. And then we go down here and do the same thing. And then we walk away and let all of that garbage chase me. And then we sit here and we crush the garbage. And then we move on to the next thing. Dump our hydras down. Walk away, let them do their job, right? It's a very passive, nonchalant, no squishy, push all the buttons build. It's pretty chill. Don't ever walk out of your cellars. Just leave or go back home. That's a waste of time. So we know we want to go up now. So from here, where we're going to go, remember this is where we went the first time. We typically come up here, check out if there's one, and then we swoop down and over to here. Now what we're going to do is go over here, and we're going to go over this way, and we're going to go up and visit some cellars. You can kill some shit along the way if you like. I'm going to speed this up for health's sake. I like to kill shit along the way, that's just me. So, right here is where you can get that black heart. The potential to get the black heart. It's not to say that it's always there, it's to say the last 2 hearts that I've gotten have been right here. So this is where we get our black hearts. I say we. It's the royal we, not the crackhead we. And nobody else is playing this game. It's just me. We as in me and the people watching. This is where we come across our next obol. I find they spread these out after the update. Whereas you could take... They were almost exploity. Whereas you could, like... I could constantly just be running the same fucking obol and sellers over and over and over again. And they're like, ah, we caught ya. So I've had to spread it out a little. But the concept still stands. Like, we're not that far off from the city. Things are pretty chill. Oh, and in hardcore, they give you bitch out skills. Or scrolls. So I could hit this right now. And there wouldn't be a, I could just leave. There's no countdown, there's no nothing. It just lets me fuck off. This isn't even true hardcore. Again, in some cases, I'm not worried about collecting. Like, I'll split the obols and the XP in the different. I'll split the difference between the two if I can't actually finish this event. So what I'll do is, you'll notice the NPCs will have they'll have a field of engagement, and you see he ran back to his place. The same goes for that little orange circle that we were just in. I can hang out down here and bug out the NPCs and confuse them, and they'll actually sit here and, oh, I want to go home. Oh, I want to fight you. Oh, I want to go home. Oh, I want to fight you. And you can just sit there and fuck with them in limbo and crush them, go back up, get all those NPCs loaded up, drag them back, fuck with their AI. Like, they made these guys totally numb. They're dumb. They're dumb as shit. Take advantage of that. This whole game is a fucking exploit. So from here, we're gonna make our way this way. I just want the gear from it. That's it. I'll stop for an elite. You gotta watch out for these big fuckers. A couple, maybe a few or a couple of those guys, and that'll really end your day in hardcore. So here's a seller. Now again, we got 4 things that can happen in here. A regular dungeon for a chest and potentially some legendaries. Obols, the butcher, or 3 treasure goblins. You'll have to figure out which cellars they pop up in. I don't know if it happens in all of them. Oh, I've never seen this one. Better shut up with that. Oh, did it go? 1. Did I see that right? Oh, fuck off. Yo, my brain is too Did it? I have the old puzzle still stuck in my head. Nope, fucked it up. You didn't even... What? Why was that over here and not... You're really trying to be easy on me on hardcore, eh? There's supposed to be consequences to this, but obviously there's no consequences. You're gonna make people think now, eh? I've never. That's part of the new update. That's got to be part of the new update. I've never seen that before. It's the 6th of August, and I'm pretty sure the patch came out yesterday, so... Not as fast as I would have liked that to have been, but that's okay. And then we come up here. And sometimes there's one around here.
I'm not ready yet.
And then from here we go home, and we repeat that process. Go left when you get home.
I need time to prepare that. We got separated.
More obols?
Friends were cut down. I won't last on my own.
I don't pick up chips at this point, but we'll let it slide.
Thank you, Wanderer. Without you, I'd be dead. I think I can manage from here. Please, take this.
And then straight home. And we do this in World Tier 3 as well. So when I want sacred items, that's how we got the weapon and the focus, which are both weapons. Oh, we just go all.
That's good salvage.
Not while I'm in town.
This is where killing things comes in handy. I mean, if you're of level, get a little bit of XP going. And hardcore little bits of rice that make a bowl of food. It doesn't hurt. And then we repeat the process. We come up here. Oops. It's not 100% foolproof, but
I need time to prepare that. I'm low on precious mana.
huh, they didn't blow up. You could probably expand on this a little bit if you wanted to, but that's kind of what me and the gents have come up with. Because I was like, oh, there's an obol here. And my buddy's like, oh, there's an obol here. And I'm like, there's a cellar here. And he's like, there's a cellar there. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And then you rinse and repeat that process. And then you come and you take your obols. Now, depending on what I want, in my case, I have a cheap weapon here, which means I can get upgrade materials from this cheap weapon if I want it. So instead of buying a wand or a staff, I have the ability to cheaply look for a focus and an aspect that I want, and potentially get some materials out of it at the same time.
It seems your prayers have been answered.
I also do that with the gloves, but that's because this is targeted for an aspect that I want. Now, you can find the aspects that I want on jewelry sometimes, but it's not very often that I upgrade jewelry, so we're not necessarily looking for that on that particular item. We're not taking advantage of any of that. We don't need to. We can come home with enough jewelry to make the upgrade that we want.
That could salvage. Father bless. What do you need?
I want to save that last piece, so we're not going to upgrade to that point.
I cannot do that here.
We'll just save what we have for now.
The forge is hot.
Now, from there, what I would do, maybe we do a couple of runs for obols, but then I'd also want to do a couple. Now, this is not, it's not, I would say it's not just for obols, but at the same time, it kind of is, because we can come down here to, I bet you I don't have it open on this character. No, I should have it open on this character. I went there. Right here. Right here. So, there is an obol that's right here. You also get the ability to run a dungeon. So if you wanted XP, and then come out of the dungeon for the potential chance of the obol, so what you would do is you would walk here, you maybe get the obol when you get there, finish, go inside, run the dungeon, leave the dungeon, pop back out, get the obol. You can reset dungeons by pushing square, accept, go back in, do the exact same thing, come back out, do the obol. So there's a couple methods in which you could do this, but then we're now starting to get into the total leveling aspect of it, whereas this is basically just for obols and gambling, but that kind of splits the difference between obols and gambling. But yeah, that's it. This is a short one because they took away my ability to share, and it's just easier to share, or they didn't, and it's just easier to share like this. So for right now, I'm done. I'm going to start the stream back up later. I'm gonna go grab a cup of coffee, but this is my addiction. Anyways, I hope this helped. Have yourself a good day. Thank you for showing up if you did. And if you do watch this in the future, I hope it helped. Enjoy your seasonal slug, and yeah, good luck.